Hello and welcome to another Overpaid Over the Bar, super nervous Devon Derby edition of the video. This one I'm recording at 7:23 on the 23rd of October, which is exactly 36 minutes before Exeter City play at home to Plymouth Argyle in League One, in the first of the two Devon derbies. We're going to face them in this season. So it's not a fixture that we're ever favourites to win, but we do win it occasionally. So I'm hoping that tonight we can do the Argyle. But anyway, I've got my shirt on. I'm doing anything I can to influence a victory for the pride of Devon tonight. So you're probably not interested in that. You're probably more interested in the fact that I'm playing the wild card this week. It's all about me today because I am going to play the wild card. Let's just have a look at the league first of all. Bit of a roundup of last week. So I finished on what looks like an above average score, but actually among engaged players, it's pretty much an average score, just a bit higher than of 71. Freddie Speak played a bench boost, scored a mighty 86 points. Rio Rebels, Matthew White, Stockport County fan, like Stockport County, doing very well these days in fourth, and he's only like what 30 points behind me. So I need to watch out now. I've got a gaggle of good players coming up behind me. Keith had a bit of a rough week, but I think his team is pretty much okay going forward. Let's see how that goes. Otherwise, in the league, Craig had the real haul of the week because he got a 98, excuse me, a 98 points. Let's just have a look at that because that is something else. Um, Main scorers were Gabriel. Well, Mukiele is the big success story there. He played the bench boost, had Voltemada and Dubravka on the bench, while Foden Reinders let him down just about everybody else apart from Senesi, Richards and Sarr. Actually, there's quite a lot of players who blanked here. But still 98 points. Basically, Mukiele and Dubravka have really boosted that score in comparison to other players. So his overall rank, went up again. He's been rapidly rising up the ranks. Let's just have a look at the game week history for him. He has been, he was 6 million game week five. He's 1.3 million in game week eight. That just shows people don't give up. That can happen any time of the season. The rank rises perhaps aren't as great in the second half of the season, but they still apply. The big shifts can still apply. So don't give up. I must say, this is an amazing squad. He played his wild card very well. Got a good team set for this weekend. So yeah, let's also have a look at Freddie while we're here. Freddie has Timber. He doesn't have Gabrielle, but that didn't stop him scoring 86 points. He brought in Gordon. I still think Gordon is going to come good, but unfortunately in the league he hasn't done yet. But Voltemada has definitely got him those extra points. So he plays bench boost, of course, Dubravka and Alderete helping him out there. All right, so it is very close, and I'm at a position now where I'm conscious of the fact that this time last season is when I also had a top 100K rank like I do now, and I let it slip because I didn't have players that other people had. I mean, it sounds obvious. That's why anyone's rank slips. But there were players that I was kind of reluctant to bring in, like Wood and the Forest defense, particularly. I think there's a couple of other players that maybe Munoz, a couple of other players that I just wouldn't sign, even though I had no, they didn't even cost very much. So that's what I'm looking to avoid this season because I did exactly the same thing last season. I had the right um, premium players at the start of the season. So at the start of the season, I had Haaland and not Salah. Last season, I had Haaland and Salah, but jumped off Haaland exactly at the right moment in game week six when he fell off. I had no idea he was going to do that, but it was just a punt. And it worked out very well for me. This season, having Haaland instead of Salah has put me ahead of everyone, basically in the mini league, at least in 100K rank. considering a lot of the people that take this thing very seriously, like I do, um, are languishing 1 million or 6 million, or quite way down the overall ranking. So I'm thinking, well, if I can just play it safe, if I can just make sure I'm covered at this point, my overall rank um, isn't going to drop, hopefully. And later on the season, I can be a bit more adventurous when I have an idea what's going to happen. Because I don't really, I think I have an idea of certain teams doing well. Obviously, Arsenal have great fixtures. Newcastle and Chelsea have pretty good fixtures too. Palace will have good fixtures from next game week. So I'm looking at those teams in particular as much on the wild card as anything else. Excuse me, I'm having a nervous cup of tea before the game. But let's have a look at my wild card. So this is what I've ended up with. It may change before tomorrow night. Remember, everybody, tomorrow evening is the deadline. Friday at 6:30. I'm assuming is the deadline. Is that yeah? Friday 6:30. Yeah, tomorrow night 6:30. If you're watching this tomorrow, if you're watching this on Friday, I should say, you can't be watching it tomorrow. It's impossible. So I brought in Sanchez because he's 4.9. And I love a bargain, and I just think 4.9 for Sanchez because everyone sold him when he got a red card. I think that's a really good price, and I think Chelsea have got a decent defence. And I didn't really want Achampong, even though he was dead cheap, because I wasn't sure he was going to stay in the team, and I didn't really want Chalobah either. Although those might be good picks. I mean, if Achampong stays in the team, he's 3.9, so do consider him if you think he's going to stay in the team. Um, of course, I went Timber, Gabriel, and Saka. That is the holy trinity that everyone's talking about in terms of Arsenal. It might not work out that those three are the best picks. I mean, who's to say Gyökeres doesn't score a few goals now? Could easily outscore Saka over the next few weeks. I wouldn't sell him if I had him. That's the honest truth. Um, the other club that people are looking at is Crystal Palace, because not this week, but next week. Let's just have a look at their fixtures. So this is Ismail Assar, who I have in my squad. His fixtures are, that's right, yes, well done. Arsenal away this week, but then he's got Brentford at home, Brighton at home, good fixtures, not great. Wolves away, good fixture. Man United at home, decent. Burnley away, very good. Fulham away. There's nothing there where you wouldn't fancy Palace to win. There's none of those games would you say they can't win that. They can win all of those games. Not that they will, of course, because I mean that would be ridiculous. But I reckon they'll win. Let's say they win four of those six, next six, or three even. I'm just playing percentage games at the minute. So then my decision is how many Palace players to have. Well, Mateta is the current flavour of the month because not only did he score 3 goals in the last fixture and could have had more, it's turning out that his actual underlying stats are ridiculous in terms of how many big chances he gets overall. He's very close to Haaland in terms of the number of big chances that he gets. So everyone's getting, or people are talking about getting him in. I had a decision to make. Did I want to have Voltemada with his consistent goal scoring at Newcastle and Sarr, or did I want to have Mateta and let's say Gordon? I don't know who else it could have been in midfield. There's a few midfield players I could have had apart from Sarr. But as it stands, I'm going for a midfield five, not this week, but most weeks I'll be playing a midfield five, including Sarr, with Enzo, Saka, Semenyo, and Gakpo. Now, there's no discussing 4 players in this squad: Haaland, Semenyo, Saka, and Gabriel. Everybody having a wild card would have those 4 players. Oh, maybe not Saka, but definitely Haaland, Semenyo, and Gabriel. Now, Enzo looks also a very good bet because of Cole Palmer's absence, and he's also on penalties. And he's not that expensive, and he plays for Chelsea, and he gets up quite, his price is kind of based on the old idea of him being defensive, but he's not very defensive these days. So I don't like having him. I don't really like him, but I've got him in the squad, and intend to play him every week. Most of these front Um, front eight, apart from Krupi Jr., I'll play every week. Now, Krupi Jr. is the breakthrough young star at Bournemouth, and Evan Nielsen is currently out injured. We don't know how long for. Krupi Jr. will start until Evan Nielsen is fit, when we assume he won't. In that situation, playing for such a good team as Bournemouth at a price of 4.5, I thought, let's give it a run. And then as soon as Evan Nielsen comes back, he's just on the bench every week, and I play the other seven attacking players and leave them on the bench, which I think they're strong enough. All of them are strong enough to play every game. So I've worked it out like that. It may not turn out how I want, but that's the logic. And Rodon and Mukiele are allowing those prices, allowing those purchases um, to be strong in midfield because they both 4.1. I'm bringing them in for the first time at 4.1. And I actually fancy either of them to get points, in games that maybe even we don't expect them to. Not Chelsea away from Mukiele this weekend, but Rodon at home to West Ham. I'm putting him in ahead of Munoz at Arsenal. It may be wrong, and Munoz is an attacking player, and he could end up being involved in a goal or something like that. But you'd think Arsenal would score, and I'm not sure West Ham will. I mean, West Ham's performance at home to Brentford on Monday was one of the worst performances that we've seen all season in the Premier League. And as a Paquetá owner, I just felt like, no, I can't see when you're going to turn this. I mean, maybe Leeds away is the game. Maybe Leeds away he comes and gets something. And actually, I'm a little bit scared that my previous team because I wasn't sure whether to play the wild card now. I was kind of in two minds, and I'm a little bit scared that getting rid of Petrovic and Senesi, for example, at the back, like Bournemouth will keep a clean sheet this weekend. I'm a little bit scared that, I mean, not that scared, to be fair, that Reinders might get some. I'm not scared of that. I'm pretty sure he won't get something at Aston Villa, but maybe he will. I'm very scared of Joao Pedro that he will score at home to Sunderland. And that was a big decision for me. And I could still reverse it. I could still get Joao Pedro back. It would mean chopping and changing the forward line completely again. But um, I made my mind up. I'm probably not going to change it, but that that is the one I'm really worried about. I'm going to watch Rob Pedro get a couple of goals or goal and assist at home to Sunderland, and I've just sold him. So maybe next week was the week. I just felt like the transfers that I've been waiting to make because of not wanting to make too many transfers. I thought, let's just do them now, get them out of the way, and then I can roll. So I have two transfers in the bank anyway, so I can roll on this team. Um, I mean, hopefully I can roll for a couple of weeks, which would give me four transfers going into game week 11, um, or 12. And that's when the fixtures turn a bit. So I'm kind of hoping that I've got all this right, I don't get injuries and stuff like this. That's the idea. It's not as exciting as a wild card as I sometimes play. I'm a little bit underwhelmed myself by it, if I can have that reaction to my own wild card. Uh, but I can't go outside the Saka, Haaland, Gabriel, Semenyo option. That's just not on. And you're just building around that in the end. And I think Timber is the correct choice for the double Arsenal defense. Right, so that is my wild card. Not too long today. Quick look at the fixtures though, for next week, for this weekend. First game tomorrow night, Leeds West Ham. Um, I think Leeds will win that, but we'll see. Chelsea Sunderland. Obviously, Sunderland are capable of giving anyone a game, it looks like. So Chelsea will have to make sure they're on form. Newcastle Fulham. I don't think. I mean, Newcastle Fulham are always underrated by everyone. But Newcastle are strong at home, maybe 1-0. Newcastle's defense, by the way, I haven't included Newcastle defender or goalie, but their stats defensive wise are absolutely amazing. They have been really, really tight. I think that the average, I heard that stat today, they've averaged conceding one big chance per game. So that's one big chance, not one goal. They've averaged conceding one big chance per game, which is absolutely amazing. They don't concede more than one big chance in most games, in any game so far, on average. So Manchester United home to Brighton. I'm still not convinced by Man United, and that was a really good performance last week. I mean, that was a really good performance. They didn't just sort of sweat it out. They actually did some really good things with the ball. So it could be that they're finally turning things around. Certainly, there's some players there that are getting better. And players like Ahmad, a very good player. Mason Mount is beginning to fit into that team. I still don't like central midfield. And I think Liverpool played very badly in central midfield. I mean, really badly at times, just giving the ball away, hopeless passing. So I wouldn't read too much into it, but it could be that Man United are on the revival. If they are, then Bruno Fernandes or um, Burma are really great picks for them. Then Brentford, Liverpool. Liverpool won their first game in a while in midweek in the Champions League. They need to turn their Premier League form around. Brentford aren't too bad. Saturday evening game, don't mind that. I'll watch that. I'm not going out Saturday night. Sad. Right, okay. Sunday, four games at 2 o'clock. Madness. Madness. I call it madness. Arsenal, Crystal Palace. What a game that's going to be. What a game. Aston Villa, Man City. That would have been a great game a season or two ago, but at the moment, I can't see it being a great game. Man City probably win it. Bournemouth, Forest. I mean, I don't see Sean Dyche being able to stem the tide that they're currently experiencing, like up against. So I think Bournemouth will win that. Wolves, Burnley. That'll be an interesting one. Wolves' form is truly rotten, but Burnley away from home haven't done well at all. So we'll see. Everton, Spurs. That won't be a bad game. I mean, Grealish. Spurs are a bit weird at the minute, though. They really are. They're not that great to watch either. Um, so there you go. That's the weekend fixtures. Good luck to your team, unless it's Plymouth Argyle. And come on, come on, the city. That was nice. Well, it was good fun. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you again next time. And take it easy.